We start off with the latest from New York. And the United Nations Security Council has passed a resolution calling for Iran to immediately halt its attacks on Gulf states. It says the attacks breach international law and pose a serious threat to international peace and security. The resolution, passed by 13 votes with 2 abstentions, demands the immediate cessation of all attacks by Iran against Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Jordan. It also condemned any actions or threats by Iran aimed at closing, obstructing or otherwise interfering with international navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has struck Gulf states in retaliation to US-Israeli attacks that killed Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The Islamic Republic has also fired on commercial ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial sea passage for the global fuel trade, in a bid to inflict pain on the global economy. Once again, the United Nations Security Council has demanded and has passed a resolution calling for Iran to immediately halt its attacks on Gulf states. It says the attacks breach international law and pose a serious threat to international security and peace. The resolution, passed by 13 votes with 2 abstentions, demands the immediate cessation of all attacks by Iran against Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Jordan. Let's talk to our correspondent Susan Teherani. She's in New York. She is on phone. Susan Teherani, I think Iran will not accept this resolution because they will say it's dismissive because they've not spoken about the United States nor Israel.
Yeah, I mean, they could say that, but this was a really telling resolution, Eric, considering the fact that they were hoping either China or Russia would veto it, and they didn't. They abstained because they didn't want to go on record supporting this, and also because it wasn't specifically about the United States and Israel. It was directly about those Gulf countries. And I think it's really important to note that moving forward now, this is a stronger legal base for military action against Iran by these countries. And remember, this resolution comes at a time when yesterday we heard that Gulf countries were in talk with the White House to possibly start retaliating against Iran from their own country, not U.S. bases, so that these attacks against these Gulf countries would stop. So now they have this strong legal basis for that military action. They can impose possible new sanctions. There could be increased military coordination, not only amongst themselves, but also with the United States and Israel. And you're absolutely right. Iran is concerned right now because it's, diplomatically isolating the Islamic Republic as we speak. So it's a strategic signal for sure. And it'll be interesting to see. I just want to say that there is another resolution that Russia wants to put forth now after this that is just broadly about stopping the war in the Middle East. It doesn't name any country in particular. So we'll see how that resolution also goes.
What did Mike Waltz say when he was speaking? I saw him speaking at the Security Council meeting. And we also had Trump, who said that oil is a matter of war. That's a statement that he just made a few hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no doubt that President Trump and the Trump administration, no matter what they say, they are concerned about how this war is playing out in the oil markets. And even though they've managed to stabilize it to a certain extent, gas prices here at home have increased by 50 cents since the beginning of the war. And that's a lot for American pocketbooks. So he has that in the back of his head, especially during an election year. And with the situation happening in the Strait of Hormuz, they've been trying to contain the conversation about oil to a certain extent. They've managed, but it's almost like a ticking bomb, really, for a lack of a better analogy.
Mike Waltz? Susan, Mike Waltz, what did Mike Waltz say at the Security Council? Because I understand he had a point about the resolution being made.
Right. No, Mike Waltz defended the Trump administration's position, and he said that we are in lockstep with our Gulf countries And while it was unexpected for the Iranians to attack these countries, it just, he said that it just shows that Iran is not a threat only to the United States and Israel, but he used the term to the civilized world.
All right, that is Susan Tehrani. She is our correspondent, our eyes and ears in the United States. Thank you, Susan.